Good morning and welcome to the Splash Live. Dave Scott here in our Civic Center TV studios on this beautiful Monday in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Splash Live. President's Day today. It also is National Leadership Day and also National Cherry Pie Day. That sounds like a diet buster to me. Very good to have you with us on the Splash Live. Part of 90 minutes of live television. We broadcast live each and every day for you here locally on Civic Center TV. It's an hour and a half of very local programming, starting out with The Splash until 10, and Tyler Keefe checks in at 10 o'clock with a more global look at our community. Tyler doing a beautiful, beautiful job last week covering the tragedy at his alma mater, Michigan State University, in a way that only an alum who really loves the school could do. Make sure you tune in for his show today at 10 o'clock. Thank you for watching us across all of our platforms. That means Civic Center TV, Channel 15, if you're in the Greater West Bloomfield area, on Comcast, Channel 99 over on AT&T. You can watch us online at civiccentertv.com. Good enough for 50,000 people to tune in there. In 2022, we want to beat that number in 2023. Thank you for your help. We're on social media today, live on Facebook and also on YouTube. And we thank you for listening on our own local radio station, 89.3 Lakes FM, where we are live with our Civic Center TV programming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Weather-wise, in the Greater West Bloomfield area, not so bad today, but we are in for a big change. Really nice over the weekend. A lot of sunshine. A little nicer than it was supposed to be. A little too windy, but other than that, good. We're at 31 already, up to 43 today, 37 tomorrow. Sunshine hangs in there, but there's a lot of weather moving in from the west. It will start to make its way into our area. Possibly, we're right in the line of whether we're going to get snow or rain or freezing rain, and it looks like we could have a serious freezing rain event this week. Too early to tell right now, but we, of course, will keep an eye on that as we keep an eye on the weather. Coming up on the program today, we're going to check in with Gina Gregory at the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. She's got a lot of exciting programs coming up there, and we'll take a look at what's coming up. And we also have an amazing video from a local realtor who talks about the current state of the West Bloomfield real estate market in February, and I thought really summed it up well. So we'll check in on both of those as the show continues right here on Civic Center TV. I thought I would start today off with a short piece of a beautiful video to get you in the right mood on Monday, produced by us several years ago in our top 5. It's our own drone footage from the very beginning of when drones became available, narrated by my good friend and legendary Detroit area broadcaster George Moore, who's no longer with us. I get emotional every time we play this. Just a short clip of West Bloomfield, another angle.
What was once undiscovered wild territory is now a thriving landmark township in the Metro Detroit area, and one of the premier communities in Michigan to live, work, and play. These rolling hills and untouched rich soil initially created a strong agricultural economy. Now known for its stunning homes, breathtaking landscapes, diverse houses of worship, and rich history, West Bloomfield Township has captivated all who frequent the area or call this place home.
Well, there you have it, another angle, West Bloomfield, the first 45 seconds. That carries on, and we have similar pieces on Civic Center TV for all of our other local communities. Check those out in the on-demand area on Civic Center TV. I know you're going to enjoy them. Well, we talk an awful lot about events going on at the West Bloomfield Middle School and how beautiful it is, but I thought I would just give you a quick look at a video. You can roll that, guys. Just a quick look at a video of the campus. This came out not too long ago, and talks about the school with a capacity of 1,200 students. The new West Bloomfield Middle School will combine the student populations of Abbott and Orchard, and as you know, it already has. But we continue to talk about amazing events like we're going to today, and talk about the see, I was on a roll today. Talk about the state of the communities that's going to be going on there. But the school district is going to be involved in another bond request here, and we'll be talking about that too over the next several months And when you look at this amazing building, and you take a look at the way that education is happening in there, I've not even been in the gym. Shame on me. But and the overall campus, amazing facility, great improvement for our community. And I just thought I would show that to you one more time. And I do hope you get out the state of communities that will be at the West Bloomfield Middle School. We'll have more on that coming up. So, like many of you watching today, all of us here in the West Bloomfield area who are homeowners are always concerned about home values. And I saw this video on TV. It's just a couple of minutes on YouTube TV, put together by Brian Hayes. We're going to try to get him on the show here in the next couple of weeks. But I thought Brian did a really good summary and update, a February update of what's going on in the West Bloomfield housing market. Let's tune in now to Brian Hayes, West Bloomfield area realtor.
All right, so here we are, February 1st, 2023. It's time to talk about what's going on with the real estate market here in West Bloomfield, Michigan. All right, as you know, nationally, there's been lots of talk about real estate coming down in price, maybe. You know, there's a big fear, at least in the western half of the country, that they were overpriced, overvalued, and things are coming to a head very quickly. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. What I do know is that here in West Bloomfield, we are certainly on a path to recovery. As I look and I see the average sales price for January, we're looking at $437,888, which is a $21,000 increase over the average price sold in December just a month ago at $416,698. That's fantastic, especially when you consider that this time of year we normally see price declines, right? Our real estate market is highly seasonal. In the dead of winter, our prices are typically low, and then by late spring, early summer, we tend to see a pretty drastic price increase. And that low point, year over year, normally shows up in February or March. And here we're seeing the low point having been December, and we're already on the increase again. So I'm excited to see how the remainder of the winter unfolds. It appears to me that we're getting a lot more buyer interest. These interest rates seem to have stabilized to maybe starting to decline, which leads me to believe a lot of people who were standing back last year, they're waiting to see how things developed, waiting to see if this big crash came along or if interest rates got out of hand. Maybe they could swoop in and get some fantastic deals. It doesn't seem to be the case. Right now, the way it's looking, supply and demand are pretty well balanced. There's actually only a 1.6 months of supply in our West Bloomfield market, and that's pretty significant when you consider that when we hit 1.8 or lower, our prices tend to zoom up pretty quickly, right? So even despite the fact that we have higher interest rates than a year ago, we have this fear of a recession, what we have is a lot of really strong homeowners who are sitting on a lot of equity. Nobody's selling their home if they don't have to or have a driving need to. And we're really undersupplying the market right now, which is helping to keep those prices pushing forward. I know if you're a buyer, it's not what you want to hear, but it is the reality. The other thing you're going to want to pay attention to as a buyer is if these interest rates do drop. If they drop below that 6% mark and we start seeing a 5, you're going to be in for a brutal buying season, right? Think back to the worst part of 2022, back when we saw multiple offers on most properties. We saw lines to get into homes that were worth buying. That could happen again. So if you're considering buying this year and you're holding off to see what happens, let me recommend you just go ahead and get serious about it. Start looking into buying now while the competition still hasn't caught on to what's actually happening in our market. There's a fair number of homes out there. Right now in January, we saw 121 homes actually become available, and that's up against only 27 having sold. And take advantage of that. There's some really nice homes out there. Prices are still decent, and you will see both the natural price increase that we go through seasonally, and then you're going to see those increases based on this supply-demand dynamic, especially if we get anything driven by interest rates. Anyway, if you want to talk this through a little bit, get a firmer understanding of how this could affect your situation, reach out to me. Go ahead, comment below or give me a call. Be happy to take 5 minutes and just kind of walk through it with you. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful February, and I will talk to you later.
Can't hear myself. There we go. Great video from Brian Hayes here on Civic Center TV. I thought he did a great job summing up the real estate market. Tough time, possibly, if you're a buyer. Great time if you happen to be a seller. And traditionally, summertime is when housing really explodes. We'll see how things go. I mean, we are all about housing in West Bloomfield. So we'll continue to do a good job to keep you in touch with what's going on in our housing market. Oakland County Health Division and Energizing Connections for Healthier Oakland have launched a countywide community survey to gather residents' views on key issues that affect health and wellness. Survey is one of many that ECHO, they call it, is collecting data and resident input to create a community health improvement plan for the next 5 years. And if you take a look at our healthcare in West Bloomfield, I think we're doing pretty darn good, for goodness sakes. We have we got West Bloomfield, of course, Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. We've got a presence from Beaumont here. We have lots of physicians and more every day of all practices and ilks doing their part to be part of our community, and lots of services, great emergency services from the fire department. But do take an opportunity to respond. This will be really helpful information, and that may vary from community to community in our area. So here's a QR code. If you want to get online and give the people at Oakland County Health Division a hand, you can just go to that web page, and you'll find that by scanning the QR code that is on our screen right now. I know you guys on radio can't do that. You can just go to the Oakland County Health Division ECHO Community Survey if you want to participate. And I'm sure they would love your feedback. We get all the results. We'll, of course, share them with you right here on the Splash Live. Congratulations this morning to the Lifetime Dental Group. Recently opened a new 6,000 square foot office in West Bloomfield on Orchard Lake Road across from Kroger. Saw that in the Jewish News. You might want to check out a complete article about their fine work. It's one of 3 offices they have. And there you go. A little more information about the investment that the medical community is making in our area. There's a link to the article in the Jewish News on our TV screen if you want to take a look at that. So I mentioned it earlier in the program. Coming up soon here is State of the Communities. It is our annual event on Civic Center TV that's scheduled for the 13th of March. I'll be hosting it at the West Bloomfield Middle School that we talked about earlier today in the program. We have the leaders from all of our communities: Rob Kalman of Kego, Norm Finkelstein of Orchard Lake, Jim Cowper of Sylvan Lake, Steve Kaplan of West Bloomfield, and Dr. Danya Bazzi of the West Bloomfield School District, all talking about accomplishments, challenges, good things that need to get worked on, successes over the last year, and exciting things coming up. Of course, Norm's going to want to talk about all the great news happening in Orchard Lake with their construction project. I'm sure Dr. Bazzi is going to want to talk about the bond issue and just some of the things that we will get into at our State of the Communities. I'm also going to do my best to schedule some time with each one of these people before that show and get a quick update. So mark your calendar. It's the 13th of March at West Bloomfield Middle School on Orchard Lake Road, and we look forward to seeing you there. 7 o'clock. We'll have food, refreshments, and there's going to be a lot of people from the community there you want to mingle with after the event. It is our annual State of the Communities. Mark your calendar. Getting closer to the 2023 Black Expo coming up this weekend at Orchard Mall. Be sure to mark your calendar for that. We'll be out there broadcasting live, of course, and reporting on all the activities 10 to 1 on Saturday. So come on out and be a big part of that. It's going to be a great program during Black History Month right here in West Bloomfield. So much, and I mean so much, going on at the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Our good friend Gina Gregory from the Historical Society is standing by. We're going to have a conversation with her when we come back in just a minute. Good morning. I'm Dave Scott. You're watching and listening to The Splash Live, and we'll be back in just a moment.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
I'm Steve Eiserman of the Detroit Red Wings, and I think every child in Michigan deserves a safe, healthy, and happy childhood. Can we build a state where Children Trust Michigan isn't just a name, but something our kids believe? Please support Children Trust Michigan as the voice for children and families by visiting the website to learn more.
What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the MegaCast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the MegaCast weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV, 89.3 Lakes FM, and streaming on mymytv.com. It's that time of year, Greater West Bloomfield. Our towns gather together this March for the 5th annual State of the Communities. Important figures from Sylvan Lake, West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, and Kego Harbor discuss the past year's projects and developments. Hear presentations from speakers, discussions on plans of action, and more. The 5th annual State of the Communities, March 13th at 7 p.m. at the new West Bloomfield Middle School. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Well, good morning and welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm Dave Scott here on Civic Center TV. Thank you very much for tuning in each and every morning from 9:30 until 10. Tyler Kieft standing by with the MegaCast coming up at 10 o'clock. More live and local programming than really, I think, any other local channel in the area. We're really glad to be doing that, and we can't do it without the help of our fantastic partners in the community. One of those is none other than Gina Gregory of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, who joins us this morning. Hi, Gina. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, I need a little sip as well. That's a beautiful coffee mug you have there.
Why, thank you.
So
I just happened to choose it. It's my Pleasant Lake mug.
Oh, I
That goes
see.
with my Pleasant Lake book.
You know, most of our guests wait until halfway into the interview before they put in plugs for their own other projects. But now that you brought it up and you've got them, why don't you tell us about your book real quickly, and then we'll get into what's going on at the Historical Society.
Sure, it's on the top of my mind because tonight I'm going to go to the township board meeting and let them know that our association, Pleasant Lake Improvement Association, is donating a copy to the township. Along with, we'll also be giving one to the library, each of the schools for our attendance area, and then the state library as well, and the Bentley Library. So we're happy to share the book with the community.
Tell us
that's
quickly,
my plug.
what's between the front cover and the back cover inside that book? What will people find?
25 years worth of research and history about the Pleasant Lake area, which is southwest West Bloomfield. Pleasant Lake's along Walnut Lake Road between Halsted and Haggerty. And we just covered the area right around there because there's so much history. We limited ourselves to that. This edition is all in color, 350 photos. So it's well done. It's laid out easy to see, to flip through. And we also include more information about the natural beauty of the area, from the natural beauty roads, the cancellation of Northwestern Highway, to the West Bloomfield Trail that's close by. So there's a lot of nature around, and we highlight that.
Well, there is, and people should definitely get out and enjoy it, and maybe they'll be encouraged by your book to do so. And this winter, we've been able to do it both with our skis on and without. So it's, you know, the trail's amazing, as you mentioned that. And, you know, it just comes right through the heart of our community. And if you only see our community driving down Maple or Orchard Lake Road, then you're really missing the real view of our community that, you know, that was right along the former railroad tracks that came right through our community. It's an amazing main trail and trail network that we have here. So let's talk a little bit about the Historical Society. I have all of these pages right here with so much information. What are the highlights? What are the highlights of things that you have coming up at the Historical Society that you'd like to point out this morning?
I would say our next event, well, yesterday we had a successful presentation about Native stories and legends. That was well received at the library. So that was in February. So our March presentation at the library will be the house on Pine Lake Road with the blue rolling cedar shake roof that is so interesting. I've met the owner and he remodeled the inside back to what it was and when it was first built, and it's a beautiful building, beautiful home. So he'll be talking about that as well as the history in the area, which is plentiful. There's just a lot to talk about for Pine Lake with the connection to the early auto entrepreneurs, as well as the amenities in the area that developed because this was a resort area and vacation area.
So that home, first of all, how old was that? When was that built?
Oh, I can't quite say. I think it's about 1904, but maybe it's in the 20s. I really, Dave, there's so much going on. I can't.
No,
I
that's
don't
quite right.
memorize the facts.
No, that's quite all right. But it's going to be fun to hear about it. And, you know, Gina, when you think about that home and the variety of homes that we do have in our area that have been around for a long time. I mean, I grew up in one. We've got homes that were a part of our resort culture back then. And then we have homes like the one that I grew up on Maple Road, which is still there. It's got to be 130, maybe 140 years old now. It's right on one of those older homes, right on Maple Road, right by the fire station. And you know, that was one of the DeConnick houses. They were one of the big farmers and landowners here. So you've got those old big farmhouses that are on our major thoroughfares. You've got these other amazing houses. You've got the whole lakefront history here in our area. So it's really you know, it's amazing to go hear these stories and learn more about our community.
Right. And my house is a small house on small lots. Our whole subdivision was made in the 20s so that people could drive out and have that summer resort experience on a 25-foot lot. So it's a wide-ranging story.
So a lot of the activities that you have, forgive me, Gina, a lot of the activities that you have, they don't all happen right at the Historical Society, right at your office. You've got presentations at the library, you're getting out around the community. Do people enjoy that?
Oh, sure. The library is a great venue for us. You know, it's easy to find. It's a great big space. And so we partner with everybody, as you know, so that we can get by as a nonprofit organization that's only supported by donations. And it's very affordable to be a member, $20. Certainly we welcome gifts more than that, and donations are always appreciated. And most of our events are free. And so probably the top of my list of what I'm excited about is a planning meeting this Thursday. Looking forward to 2024 when it will be the 50th anniversary of the Historical Society. I'm hopeful that we can have a home and garage tour that would highlight our auto history. And the last home tour we did was 2014. So we'd like to do another one now. We have amazing history to share. I think we'll have the venues. But we need people to step forward to help plan all the details that go into an event such as this. It's fun. You learn some history and you support our community and support the Historical Society. And so we're looking for you and hope that you can come to the Orchard Lake Museum this Thursday, 7 p.m. And we'll just work through the list and see who can help and what they can do. So give us a call at the museum if you need to, or reach out to me. You can do that at contact@gwbhs.org. That's next on our horizon on this Thursday at 7 p.m.
So, Gina, that's a great idea. And these home tours are fantastic because there you get to see living history, and you also get an opportunity to go into someone's home that you would never get access to. You know, all these home tours are fantastic. Fun to knock on the door and say, hey, nice house. I'd like to see it. Get out of here, kid. Forget it. But during this kind of an opportunity,
Yep.
and I love the idea of tying this into our auto heritage. Do you expect to find homes where there have been work, or homes where people have some historic vehicles, or a little bit of both? What are you expecting, and where do you think this is going?
I hope it's I hope it's headed to great success. Um, we have a rich auto heritage, so I'm looking at it as diversely as possible. I know there's a home on Orchard Lake where the person who first built the home invented metallic paint for the car industry. So
Wow.
there's that car connection. Uh, Henry Ford and his buddies, most simply said, like to tour around in their vehicles. And so they had an automobile club out here at Pine Lake, and it was called the Automobile Club, and they had a building. So Tim Paul is actually giving a presentation on that this August at our Classic Car Open House. He will be the featured speaker in August and talk about that. So I would like for that to be a part of the program as well, in some capacity. So I have all these ideas. They aren't set in stone yet. There's a few homes where they're new homes, but gosh, they have a 6-car garage.
Right.
You know, there's something in that 6-car garage besides a
Well,
couple of daily vehicles.
I could tell you, because I have some very good friends that are into classic and nostalgic automobiles, and they know some of the people, and you would be amazed. It's not all homes. You would be amazed at some of the car collections that people have in our area. I don't know about immediately in West Bloomfield. I'm sure you'll dig them up. But, you know, I walked into a warehouse a couple of weeks ago that looked very nondescript from the outside, and there were 100 amazing, beautiful cars in there. And it was a museum, but I asked the owner, I said, well, you know, hey, what's going on here? Well, I just like to have these and maintain them and show them to my friends. So I think there's a lot of that going on.
And if there's anybody out there who would like to participate by supporting the Historical Society with that, you know, in any way, please reach out to me. Again, at contact@gwbhs.org. I don't know you yet, and we need to be friends. And,
Gina will make the connection.
support us.
I'm so sorry. I got to go. Thank you very much for being with us. Sorry for the last minute request, but it's very good to have you with us. Good luck, and we look to participate with you on a number of activities coming up that we can do a much better job of getting on Civic Center TV, and look forward to extending and growing our partnership with you. Thank you very much.
I do too.
Thank you very much. Gina Gregory, Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Check them out on the web and go visit them as well. That's going to be it for The Splash today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tyler Keefe standing by with a megacast right here on Civic Center TV.